Next up, we have the big dogs, the heavy hitters in the industry, the real heavyweights of the sports podcasting world, the big hitters category.
James, did you enter any of your pods in this category, or are you not fancying yourself a big hitter?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm clearly a big hitter, and I've actually got more podcasts than Apple, but for some mysterious reason, none of my podcasts are one, and they're not in this category.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of a conflict of interest there, but I'll give you a gold star for being a big hitter. So there you go. This category is stacked with talent. Here are the nominees. The J-Boy Show, Monday Mile with Amy Fuller, Just Getting Started with Rich Eisen, Talk is Jericho, The Fantasy Footballers, The MMA Hour with Ariel Hawani, The High Performance Podcast, and The Tennis Podcast. And the Big Hitter Award goes to Fantasy Footballers. And we welcome in 2/3 of the Fantasy Footballers podcast, Andy Holloway and Mike Wright, the Fantasy Hitman. Congratulations, guys. First time, long time over here.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. It's very exciting to meet. We're huge fans of all the work that you do. We've been Twitter pals, I think, kind of silently, as industry people tend to do. But so it's tremendous to have an actual face-to-face conversation.
Absolutely.
I have a confession here because last year I started listening to the show while I was getting ready for my training camp tour. And I aggressively followed all three of you and the show at the same time. And then I was like, is that like maybe not like Twitter etiquette? But I was happy that I got followed back by you guys. I just want to know, where is Jason? Like his flotation device
somewhere
is
in the
still
middle of the
keeping him
Atlantic.
afloat? Okay.
Yeah, he's somewhere just floating in the middle of the Atlantic. Probably has a beverage in his hand. He's enjoying the off season, recharging as a Jason needs to do.
A Jason?
A Jason. And he'll be back with us soon. I know his one regret of this vacation was missing this interview with you. So he sends his love and regards, and he's missing out, but we're very excited to chat.
I get it. He's big timing now that he's a big hitter.
That's right.
Like this, it checks out. It makes sense. So for you guys, your show is incredibly successful. It's so entertaining. It's so funny. I'm always laughing when I listen to it. But I think what's so cool about your pod is that it's an independent podcast, and you're constantly in the top 10 among sports in the U.S. with people and networks like ESPN and The Ringer, et cetera. Like, that's some grassroots baller status right there.
I think at times we step back and we look and we say, well, how do we even get to this point? Okay, every day we say that. But the truth is it's just like building that connection. We're all genuine friends with one another. Everything that happens on the show is so organic. And, even when we've done live tours and stuff, I think that's what stood out to me is this fact that, people come up to us. They've built this relationship with us. They do know who we are because this is it. I mean, you get it on the show. And, I think we just built this connection with the listeners organically, and it's stuck, and it's been a fun ride.
It's been really cool because I feel like listening to your show, you can tell how friendly you guys are and how close you are, and you kind of let the viewers and the listeners into that as well. So everyone kind of feels like they're in your circle. But I did notice that somewhere, I think it's on your website, you say that you have a holistic approach to fantasy football. I live in Los Angeles, so if it says holistic, I can't resist it. What does that mean, though, exactly?
Sure. Like for us, it's not just the stat sheet. It's not just I got to make the right draft picks. It's looking at the game as a whole. It's how do I trade? Like when you're trading with league mates, very often you're trading with your friends. So it is a psychological battle between you and your friend of, hey, I want this player. Oh, well, what do you know that I don't know? And like working around those different types of things, making sure that your league overall is fun. Because at the beginning, you play fantasy football for fun. Now, like some people get into, the heavy money leagues and things like that, so they're playing for a financial gain. But us, like our main league, the league of record as we refer to it on the podcast, has never had money. Like it is simply you win and you get to troll everybody in the league. I get to let Andy know that I am better than him in fantasy football
for a whole year,
which really means I'm better than you as a human being. and like avoiding the punishment if you lose. So we try to encapsulate all of those things of playing for fun. How do you win, and not just in the draft? How do you win, with the waiver pickups, with the matchups, just everything involved. So we try to take it out of just the stat sheet, and we call it the holistic approach.
I love it. All right. So you have to forgive me because I am still like pretty new to the crew. You guys don't play for money. Is there like a trophy or a belt or like a ribbon? Like, what are you guys doing over there?
I think we do all of it. I mean, our league is connected all year round. In fact, when we started this, that's why we started, is we were geeking out and torturing the friends that didn't play fantasy by just talking about it all year long. And we got a big trophy. We have draft day where Mike will dress up like a ridiculous human being.
Yes.
Everything's branded, with his logo. And we have punishments for the losers, too. So they get to draft soaking wet. I mean, they basically get water dumped on them in a bunch of embarrassing fashions, and then they have to draft soaking wet. So something to avoid. But, yeah, it's the pride aspect. It's the camaraderie. It's all of those pieces that make fantasy so engaging and fun for people. And now that we've been doing it for a long time, these leagues are the main point of connection with certain friends that, you used to work with, you used to go to school with, that type of thing. So that's the part that we love about fantasy. And then, there's all these different ways people take it, but that's the core of our show.
You're bringing people together. You guys need a dunk tank, I think. That
I'm
would
down.
really add. Yeah,
that's right.
For sure. So your listeners are known as the Foot Clan. Have they put you on WikiFeet yet?
Oh, I'm not from WikiFeet?
I'm not familiar.
It's a thing. It's a really weird thing. I thought everybody knew about this weird thing. All right.
Is this like
Never
photos
mind.
of feet?
We're going to take this out and post. Don't even worry about it.
No. We're diving in. Hold on.
Drill it down.
Is this like
Okay.
photographs of feet? Is that what we're talking about?
It is. I only know about this because somebody told me that I was on it, and I was horrified by that. And so I am like always very nervous about posting any pictures now like that involve
That's a different
my feet
Foot
without
Clan,
shoes
Colleen.
on.
That's a
I
different
know.
Foot
That's why
Clan.
I was wondering if maybe anyone from your Foot Clan was like in the other Foot Clan.
Yeah,
and
well,
maybe
we don't
they
look
put
into
you
that.
on there.
Yeah, it would be a real bad look for me right now. My toes are like mostly chipped off, nail polish, as my daughter insisted on painting my nails. And there's
I saw him.
Yeah,
You
so
get a low score.
it would be very low right now.
So what makes the Foot Clan tick then?
We have always been so thankful for the people that listen to this show. Just amazed at their generosity, their kindness. They like supporting an independent show too, where we have no voice above us telling us what to say or do. And, we're not the Yankees. You're rooting for the small market team here. Does that make us the A's? I don't know what that makes us. But no, they're just a special group of people with the same goal, which is to have a blast, to enjoy themselves. They build the show into their routine. And, we try to connect with them as much as we can. And as the show's grown, that's been taking different forms. But, we're just humbled by the audience and who we have supporting us and making these stupid nicknames we'll mention a thing. And it's a lot of fun. Good people.
I love the nicknames, and I have to tell myself to not steal them because when I'm listening to the show, I'm like, that's theirs, so I can't like start using that on the air.
Please
but they're
do.
very catchy.
We may be giving an open license just to Colleen Wolfe today for all of the nicknames.
God, that would be amazing.
So go ahead and take them, run with them.
Yes.
We would enjoy seeing that.
That's great. Speaking of nicknames, Mike, Fantasy Hitman, your nickname is pretty self-explanatory. However, how did the nickname come to be?
Oh, the origin of the nickname is a tremendous story as Andy shakes his head. Because...
Wow, just such a rich history to it. Yeah.
Yes. Step number one is my parents. Michael, it's a strong name, but, Mike Wright, there's about, 10 million of us out there.
Yeah, it's Alex Smith of names. Go on.
It's a pretty generic name. And early on in the days of the podcast where Jason wasn't actually on, it was just Andy and myself. Andy had to miss a week. So I brought in someone actually from our league, and it really just turned into the Mike Wright show for an hour. The guest didn't really talk. And I kind of got on my high horse and decided I was going to do whatever I wanted. And I demanded that the guests start referring to me as the Fantasy Hitman. And then when Andy came back,
yeah, you named yourself.
You
just named yourself.
But just hold on. So because this is where the story gets funny is Andy comes back and he's like, I'm not calling you that. that is the stupidest name I have ever heard, which that brought out the troll in me. So that whenever Andy would say my name on the podcast, I would completely cut him up. Excuse me, that's Mike the Fantasy Hitman, sir. And it was just I just kept asserting and kept trolling until he finally caved in.
Yeah.
And allowed it to happen.
And once you grab the Twitter handle, it's over.
Yep.
So, it's done.
Yeah. That's A+ shtick right there. Andy, for anyone who hasn't listened to the show, what's the scouting report on everyone that's on mic, all three of you?
That's everybody that's on mic?
On the microphone?
So on the microphone, not Mike.
No one is on me.
Co-host Mike. Yeah. Give me a scouting report on Mike and Jason and yourself. How about that?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Jason is the one. We brought him on really, really early. This show was Mike and I in a lunchroom talking about 10 people. And then we realized we needed that third voice. Jason has this rich history in comedy and improv.
The funniest person I know.
Yeah.
He is never unable to make me laugh in about 5 seconds.
And he's someone I knew back in high school, and I thought this guy's going to be on SNL, a performer at heart. The question is you got your fantasy figured out when you come on board? And he did so quickly. He's super bright, super smart, and super funny, and never afraid to make fun of himself, which is a skill and something he's always willing to do for the good of the show. And, Mike is the hot take master. That's the scouting report for Mike. He wants to he's a little bit of the contrarian is built into him. And so you'd admit that, right? I mean,
oh yes.
And so he's always got a dynamic, unique take, but he can back it up. So that is not vanilla on the show. And I'm just dad. I'm the dad. I just try to keep the kids from making a mess on the set and try to set them up to be funny.
Yeah, if a show is just Jason and I, Andy happens to be out, it goes off the rails about 30 seconds into the show. We're going over the time limit by 15, 20 minutes. We need the show, Dad, to keep us in line.
That's right.
Yeah, Andy's going to turn the car around and take everybody home if you don't behave yourselves. Well, you guys, keep up the excellent work. It's such a fun mix. I really enjoy the show. Clearly, I'm not alone. So congratulations again. And go treat yourselves with a celebratory recording or a sandwich, whatever you have going on.
Ooh, sandwich.
That sounds good. We can order for Jason and eat it ourselves. So thank you so
perfect.
much. Yes. We appreciate it. And thanks to all of our listeners for supporting the show.
Thank you, guys.